Hello, I'm Terry David Mulligan. This is the Mulligan Stew Podcast. Mariel Buckley. Mariel Buckley has literally grown up as an artist and a person in front of our very ears. Her new album is called Everywhere I Used to Be. And I really shouldn't have to ever give you a bio on Mariel Buckley because her life is in her songs. If you give a listen, you can hear where she's been and where she's going. I made a note to myself here that Everywhere I Used to Be, the album, feels like a dedication to rebuilding a life and getting on with it. And it's kind of that in a nutshell with these songs. It was recorded at the National Music Centre in Calgary with a great band. She wrote fabulous songs, sang her heart out, and it was all for Birthday Cake Records in Winnipeg, which is the home of the Landreth brothers, the bros Landreth, who formed this record company so they could sign people who weren't getting signed and giving them a spotlight, giving them a stage upon which to play. So much so that right now they are touring the UK, towns big and small in England, Ireland, Scotland, and then off to Denmark and those Nordic rock gods that live there. When I did this interview, her album was just being released and wasn't on anybody's charts. But in the weeks that have gone by, she has become the number one artist on the CKUA Top 30. And that's a tough haul because you've got to get a lot of plays on a lot of different shows. And everybody is very picky about the music they play. But we do like this music and we love the artist, Mariel Buckley. Have a listen. I think you'll agree that we have good company here. And there's 3 tracks for you as well from the album Everywhere I Used to Be. Mariel Buckley, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Terry David Mulligan. This is Mulligan Stew, CKUA Radio, and the Mulligan Stew Podcast. Finally, after stalking her for weeks on end on the road, yeah, I can. No, I can't. No, I got it. No, I'm sleeping. I'm awake. I'm on the bus. No, I can't do this. I'm just going on stage. I'm just coming off stage. I find Mariel Buckley. And her album, Everywhere I Used to Be. I know how important these songs are to you. It's in the songs. You can understand. How good is it to finally have an album in your hand that you can say, here's my music?
Feels pretty good. It's pretty cool. Thank you for saying that. You can tell they mean a lot to me because I feel like it's obvious, but it means a lot to hear that. And yeah, I'm pretty over the moon to have this recording done for sure.
Thing is that you open your heart to us, which is always the thing that astonishes me about songwriters, that they open their heart because they're alone. They're by themselves. They're just in a room working. And all of a sudden, months later, you're singing those songs over and over and over again on the road and opening up your heart to thousands of people. It's a crazy life.
Oh man, well I appreciate you saying that too. Gosh, you have more respect for me than I have for myself. It's crazy. It is a weird feeling to like see those songs kind of live in your brain and then come out on paper, and then yeah, just like you said, now we're playing them for people, and it's just like it's crazy to see that ripple out and how people connect with them differently.
You also have to decide how much you want to reveal of yourself.
Yeah, I think that was like a tough thing for me, is that, in the past, I think I didn't necessarily know what and how much I wanted to reveal. Yeah. And now that I'm a bit older and, I've had some time to reflect on that, it was a little bit easier of a realization to come to.
Older and wiser?
Well, older. Don't know about wiser yet.
No, I see some wisdom in here. I see some wisdom.
Yeah, could be a little bit, Terry. A little bit.
I tell you what you're wise at. You kind of know where you want to go. You know where you want to get to.
Yeah, I do. I feel
you do like that. You do like that center stage, and you do like that microphone.
I do. It's like the best part of the job, and that's like where I feel the most comfortable. And it's like, yeah, it's the best part. I do really love to just play shows.
When I was trying to find you, you were out on the road with those cute little Landreth brothers.
Oh, they're so cute. You're so right.
Oh, they're dreamy, Madge. They're so dreamy.
Tell me about it.
And so where did they take you?
Well, this first leg, they took me and my steel player Ryan to pretty much all of Toronto. We covered pretty quickly, and then we did kind of the north and southeast of the states. So Philly, New York, DC, and then we went into Nashville, Chicago, and Minneapolis. And it was like such a whirlwind. We drove the whole thing from Edmonton, but it was so fun. It was like one of the most fun tours I've ever been on.
Well, if you're going to go out with anybody, you might as well go out with those guys. You know.
You think? So
Yeah.
professional, so courteous,
And they're so polite.
and so talented. Like the shows were just unreal. So that was great.
And they were on a buzz, and they had handed out an album that was pretty damn good. I'm telling you,
bet.
a game breaker for those guys. And then Bonnie records a song and makes it her first single. What?
Man, every night they would play that song. It was so crazy because like people would just lose it. And I don't think a lot of people even realized that that was their song a lot of the time. So they'd start into it and then people would be like, oh yeah, they're covering Bonnie Raitt. And then after they'd be like, well, actually that's our song. But it was awesome to see that kind of blow up on in the States, especially. It was so cool.
Did you go out on stage and share the mic? Did you do harmonies later on their set?
I did. Yeah. Joey has been like a really supportive guy for me since kind of 2020 when we met. And he's been kind of encouraging me to do more like vocal stuff because he's, you know, he sort of thought I was a better singer than I was, which was very kind of him. But I spent a lot of time singing with him. And then on this tour, we did a song from their new record where I came and sang harmonies. And then we did that Vince Gill cover we did together. Are
you saying you're not as good a singer as you are a writer?
No,
No, you're a singer. You're a damn singer.
No, I mean, gosh, it's just like, it's a weird like paradox, right? It's like you want to be good at both of them, but I think it's also easy to limit yourself.
Before we get to all of this, it's a foolscap. It's filled with notes. So if I'm looking down, it's my roadmap.
No.
How are you? Because only you can know when you're BSing yourself and you're good, or you're lying to yourself, or you're playing whatever. You're telling untruths to yourself. How are you doing as a person these days? Status report.
Status report is pretty good. Definitely better than 2019. And that oddly is kind of what's been so great, is that all the time I had with this record, I just like feel like I got to do a lot of work on myself, which also helped me write these songs in a more truthful and more, kind of authentic way than I think I had ever known I could do,
You also have this singer-songwriter paradox, weird, where you write songs about, and the brothers do it as well. They write songs about being on the road, being away from home, being away from loved ones, lonely, waking up, don't know what town you're in, whatever. But you wrote the damn songs about that, and they take them all, and and then you go out on the road with them, and you're going through the whole thing again.
Oh yeah, it's weird. It's like, it's so hard to reckon with, because I think it's like, wow, that is it's the best part of my job. I know it's what the boys, the bros love too.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things that, when you're out there, it's the best feeling in the world until about 3.5 weeks hits.
Yeah.
And then you're like, every show is amazing. And that's the best part of every day, even towards the end of a tour. But you do hit a point when you're just like, I would love to go to my own bed. And then you get home and you're like, God, I wish I could go on tour again. So it's like, I don't know. You're never satisfied.
Mariel Buckley's with me. Everywhere I Used to Be came out yesterday, the 12th of August. Yeehaw. Ye freaking ha. Shooting at the Moon is about touring. Well, there's a lot of touring references in here of not being home, where days and nights get blurred. But it's also a feeling that it's you against the world.
Certainly. I'm glad you picked up on that. Yeah, no, that's also something that's like pretty standard for me. And I've had to do a lot of work on that as a person, of just, the right balance between like using the underdog spirit to motivate me to get better. And then also not thinking that everyone is out to get me, because that's, it's not a healthy way to live life,
This
But
this is me just guessing because I can't climb inside these songs fast enough. You want to live with them for a while. The title track, "Everywhere I Used to Be," feels like a dedication to maybe rebuild, get on with it. Throw away the questioning yourself and just stepping out, freedom. So,
absolutely, yeah. It is about. I mean, it is about that sort of bridge burn moment where you're ready to take a step out of something that's no longer good for you. And I think I talk about that a lot in songs that I write, but this one felt a lot more intentional. And I think you do the thing where you have 2 years off to just like stare at yourself, and then also like you just get older. It's just a natural progression.
I actually said to myself the first time I heard the album, I hope she's happy out there. I do.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, if you're going to do it, if you're going to give your life to it, I don't want the life to beat you up.
You know what, though? These songs and getting to share them and having thoughtful conversations with people like you is like, it's what makes me feel better about all this. Getting the songs out, I feel great. I'm like better than I've ever been, probably.
And that's healing in itself.
You betcha. Yeah. So I appreciate you saying that.
Let me see that winning smile. Okay. You start with Neon Blue, which is just a great song. Just a great song. Neon Blue, was that one of the singles?
You bet. No, it's getting released on the day of the record.
It's going to get it's going to get plays.
I hope so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah. Whatever Helps You. Again, me telling you what the song might mean to me is bogus, but I got to do it. I got to jump in here. Well, it's about a slide player is what it is. It's really good. Was there a heartbreak involved here?
Oh, 100%. You picked up on that? Just kidding. Yeah, no. Definitely one of the more bitter breakup tunes. And the slide that you're hearing there, that's Skinny Dick, right from Lethbridge, Alberta. Did a great job.
There is a lot of sliding here. The slide in Whatever Helps You. It sort of begs the question that Dan Aykroyd used to ask: are you a floor wax or a shampoo? Do you want to be the rocker from Everywhere I Used to Be, or Shooting at the Moon, or country? What do you want to be?
Oh, I just feel more comfortable than ever to just be whatever I want, you know? There's so much room out there within the different genres now. And, you know, as much as I love sticking hard to traditional country, and that's where a lot of my influences are from, I think there's some cool sonic stuff out there that pairs well with country. And there's just fun ways to make music. So I don't know if I'd ever want to put myself into either one.
Okay. Let me quote Tammy Nielsen.
Love it.
Have you crossed paths with Tammy Nielsen?
A couple times. I haven't met her, but she's like an amazing performer.
And her new album is called Kingmaker. And basically she's addressing the gatekeepers and the kingmakers who hold tightly to the keys of equality for women and minorities in the music industry, and more largely society as a whole. And she says, there's a track called King of Country Music. Tammy challenges the country music norms of female artists only making up 10% of radio airplay in country music. Could the king of country music be the daughter, not the son, is her song.
Oh, man, I love that. And I mean, that's a cool thing we're seeing right now too, is like within Americana especially, and some popular country, there's this huge resurgence of women and minorities and people that are like finally sort of allowed to take up a little bit of space. So that's super cool. And I would love to see more chicks, especially in the pop vein, you know.
Does it feel like there's room for you out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, totally. That's kind of the nice thing.
And have you found your audience yet? No, you haven't, because all those people that were with the Brothers Landreth now, and you're going to go out again, you're going to win them over.
Honestly, I feel like every show I find some of my audience. It's like when you don't look for them and you think like, oh, these people don't like me. And like, again, I've had my hackles up for a long time about what people might think of me. But there are people that want to listen to stuff like this everywhere. You know, they're all over. So it's just about finding them.
All right, Mariel, Going Nowhere. There's some dark matter in Going Nowhere.
You bet.
Were there mental health issues?
Yeah, that's kind of what the whole tune's about. Is that like sort of cyclical, I can't stop doing what I'm doing.
Shit.
But I'm watching myself do it, you know?
Yes.
I think one can relate to that.
Is it behind you?
I mean, it's always like a part of it, right? I mean, that's just a part of like kind of how I grew up. I've just always had that stuff as a part of my life and part of how my brain works. But now I feel like so much more in control of it than I ever have. So while that like spiraling thing is still a reality, it's so much less prevalent in my life now, which is great.
Does Driving Around have a lyric, Call Me Old Fashioned?
Yeah, you bet.
Are you an old fashioned girl?
Well, I got an old spirit, I figure, but you know, maybe not.
I was prepared for a song about loneliness, Driving Around. But it feels like this is a kind of warm joy.
Yeah, this one's a little bit romantic even, which is a stretch for me usually.
Romance.
But it's nice. I know. But it's good. I like this one. And I love Marcus did such a cool job producing this song, I thought. Like, I love all the layers.
In the town where I was born, right across from that old church. Used to keep my eye on Mary while she'd shine behind the birds. Now the moon is in that window and the glow has hit you right, like a cigarette crushed in my pocket, waiting for a chance to light. 'Cause when the lights come on and the sun goes down, I'm gonna lay you down the backseat of whatever I'm driving around. Up ahead is the old skate park where I used to run around. Couldn't ride for shit to save my life, pretend if you were around. But now the dogs are getting called to and the kids are running up the drive. And honey, we got nowhere we need to be, at least not for tonight. 'Cause when the lights come on and the sun goes down, I'm gonna lay you down the backseat of whatever I'm driving around. And you can call me old-fashioned. How did I never think of this until now? And this house is all we've seen for days and days. Why don't we go and drive around? Cause when the lights come on and the sun goes down, I'm gonna lay you down the backseat of whatever I'm driving around.
The band did great. You recorded this at the National Music Center?
You bet, yeah. It was too fun.
Did that involve the Stones truck?
No, but it did involve us like pillaging their synth collection
Yes.
and Randy Bachman's guitars. So,
Yes, okay, so
thanks, Randy.
Shooting at the Moon is about touring, night and days and blurring and stuff. Horse Name Nothing. I just put question mark. What am I? What I'm hearing is space.
Yeah. It's kind of it's an ode to, like, when you're sealing up old boxes from an old relationship, but I kind of wrote it as like I would call it like canyon country, just big, open and boomy and spacious. And yeah, it's basically, it's just that horrible nostalgic pang.
I was also thinking about personal space as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about kind of questioning your life and where you're going now that you're back riding solo and, and mortality and all that stuff. Real light, real happy.
And what can you tell me about Let You Down? Can you?
Well, so that one's one of my faves. I wrote it kind of about a band member and just like how, it got tough out there. And it's a bit of I wanted to send my bandmate off with like a nice tune, like a bit of a rocker. Cause we had so many good times together, but, yeah, it was a really difficult challenge for me to have to like break up with a band member for the first time. I've never had to do that before.
If the rocker, I don't have time for answers, really only questions. If the rockin' tunes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marked down here. If they start to take off more than the country you and the slide, would you follow that?
I do think that like I enjoy making that kind of music, but I'm pretty rooted in like a country, a country adjacent style of music. So I'll probably never abandon it fully to do like a stadium rock thing. It's not really my vibe.
You wouldn't stage dive?
Oh, I'd still stage dive, sure, but just do a nice country song.
Okay, now here's the deal. They sent me the tunes, and I'm going down, I'm listening to the tunes, and then down at the bottom are Prairie Town Dreams and Sad All the Time.
Yeah.
I don't think they made the cut. Did they make the final cut?
No, they're B-sides, so they'll be featured in some spots, but not others. But yeah.
Okay, but I'm voting right now for Prairie Town Dreams. I'm voting for the feel of that. I love that song. Sorry.
I loved making that song too, because that was one of the only ones that Marcus and I both like very much agreed. Let's just keep it super trad, and it sounds like I'm painting a nice picture, but it reminds me of Lucinda Williams in all the best ways. Like I just love how it came out, and I'm sad it didn't make the cut, but I had 2 waltzes already, and I was like, I shouldn't put 3.
There's a line in here. Hold on a second. It's you writing, actually, under your special thanks on the album.
Oh.
I hope that these songs offer some catharsis. I wish you comfort in your darkest moments, some under a neon sign and the warmth of a 3-beer glow, some on an all-night drive far away from home. You're writing to special thanks, but you're also writing to yourself, I think.
I think so, a little bit. Yeah, it's been an important thing for me to like not rob myself of like the joy and sort of like satisfaction of having made this record. It's, it took me a little bit and some lessons. So maybe I am writing to myself a little, Terry.
How about that?
It's very, yeah.
You have taken yourself to task from time to time about drinking too much. How you doing on that end? Oh,
great. Yeah, honestly, the older I get, the worse the hangovers get, the less worth it becomes. And I've got a pretty okay sense of self-discipline. I think that I was drinking a lot back in the day just because I had too much going on, and I didn't know I had so much anxiety about what was going on in my career and in my life. And I needed something to help me kind of deal with that, but feeling a lot better now. So thanks for asking.
Could that be maturity, do you think?
I actually do think it might be, which I'm hesitant to admit, but I do think, I think I did a little bit of growing up, which was necessary.
I've never spoken to anyone the way that you speak to me. Don't make you so sad, kind of thing that you'd see on somebody's TV. the edge of the bar stool. I keep looking up and thinking you'll be there. Oh, but tonight ain't my night. There's no salvation in sight down here. Goodbye, sweet release. When you see taillights leave your driveway, honey, please don't make a scene. Find me everywhere, baby, everywhere I used to be. I'm going everywhere, baby, everywhere I used to be.
I'm trying to find your damn tour dates. Sorry. Give me frickin' tour. Have you got your tour dates in front of you?
I do. Yeah, I can pull
Oh,
it
I
right
know.
now.
I think I found it on your website. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
By the way, I joined the mailing list.
Thank you. You'll get my biannual update.
That's all you do?
Well, now that I know you signed up, Terry, it'll be more frequent. I did have trouble keeping up when I was on tour in 2019, but I'm back a little more frequent now.
Where do you start your next tour?
So I've got a couple things here in August. We've got a Tom Cochrane gig, and then me and Ryan fly to the UK, and we start in London with the Bros Landreth again. We're in
That'll be London, Ontario.
no, London, UK.
London, England.
London, England.
The town of London, England. Okay, fine.
I think so. Yeah, first time overseas. So we do kind of the UK for about 10 or 11 days, and then we go to Germany and Denmark for the last 10 days.
Do you remember the first 4 dates you ever did? What was
God.
What was the first one?
Oh my God! Like dates, like a run of dates, or just first 4 shows?
It's on your website. I'm just going to hold you to it.
Oh my God!
It was on January of 2019, I think.
Folk Alliance, probably.
Winterruption.
Regina.
Yeah, then you did a house concert in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And Pine Cone Opry, Beau's Bar and Grill in Red Deer, and the Silver Skate Festival, Harlech Park in Edmonton, Sound Off Festival in Calgary. Now look at you. You're playing London, damn England.
Oh, it's crazy. I'm very excited to go overseas. It'll be really fun.
And it'll still be you?
It'll still be me, man. I can't not do that.
Are you getting new outfits?
I mean, I've got a couple nicer stage items for the bigger rooms. I'm very uncomfortable with being dressed up for the show.
Why?
That's my one thing that I struggle with. I don't know. It's just it's hard for me.
What are you most comfortable in?
Like jeans and a shirt. So I often just wear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Look at this. Brothers Landreth taking you out and going crazy. You're going to steal their hearts out there. Glasgow, Manchester, Oxford, Amsterdam, Hamburg, Berlin, and you end in Denmark, and then it doesn't. I mean, who knows where you go from there?
Oh well, we have a large tour in October releasing this record actually, so the dates will be announced for that soon.
You'll be back in Alberta, obviously, and out west. Play Vancouver Island, please. Thank you.
You bet.
When's the last time you rode a horse?
Oh, Terry, I'm gonna disappoint. I've never been on a horse.
Never been on a horse?
They scare the shit out of me, man. They're so scary and big.
Have you seen Beyonce's horse?
Yeah, I want that horse. That one looks awesome.
Okay. Listen, we are going to play the hell out of this album.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's not many stations like CKUA.
No, and I was going to say, you're asking about contemporary country, but really, I just think that, what you guys have done for me and so many Albertan artists is immeasurable and so much more helpful in the grand scheme of stuff.
When we, as you know, every 6 months we go fundraising because that's what we are, donor supported. What would you tell those people who are listening but haven't made a donation, maybe even haven't thought about making a donation, even though they're listening to donor supported radio? What would you say to them about your life as related to CKUA and the audience in Alberta and around the world?
Oh man, well, CKUA has connected me to all of my first and still continuing listeners who find out about me. And there's no better way to support, than to sort of, I just feel like there's no station doing the kind of artist development that this one is. And so if you want to see the local kids that are at the happy hour open mics playing for 4 hours, you want to see them start getting on some stages, some bigger stages, because they've been working really hard. Stations like CKUA are what are going to make it happen. They're on all the folk fest sites in Alberta, interviewing those same artists. They're paying attention to who's coming up. They're recommending them for slots, so that like $30 that you donate one time or once a month, that could have been for coffee, you're making people's careers for real. And you're also keeping all the great folks able to make content like this. So it's really a very special station.
Well then, and it's home. Where do you go from here? Where does this lead? What's the dream?
The dream is just to make more records and just keep playing shows and have more and more people feel like they're seen in the tunes and that they connect with them. And then, make another record, do it all again, do it till I'm dead. It's like the best job ever.
Ever. Okay. Go get yourself a brand new fresh t-shirt and jeans and wear those damn things. You be comfortable out there, okay? It's important that you be comfortable and happy on and off stage.
Okay, I will.
I like to ask this question, and I'll leave you with this one. You're standing backstage. It's either your show or it's Brothers Landreth audience, whatever. You take 15 steps to the mic and the spot. What do you remember about those 15 steps? What are you telling yourself? Is there a metamorphosis? What happens? It's a very personal journey.
Oh man. Don't hit Joey's guitar. Don't step on the mic that's mic'd to Joey's amp. Don't touch Joey's pedals. And then followed by like, wow, I can't believe this is my job now. I couldn't even sing my way out of a paper bag when I was in my 20s. And now like I get to sing with like arguably one of the best singers ever. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Congratulations on your album.
Thanks, Terry.
Everywhere I Used to Be, Mariel Buckley. It's out now, friends. Go get it. Have a good tour.
Thanks, buddy.
Mariel Buckley. If you're listening in the UK, she's on tour with the Brothers Landreth. The Bros Landreth. And by the way, at every show, I'm hoping that the brothers call her out. Or she's on stage and she calls the brothers out. And they sing a song called When I Call Your Name. A song co-written by Vince Gill. You cannot believe how good that song is with their voices and their instruments. It's fantastic. I would have played the track here, but I didn't get permission from Mr. Gill to use it in the podcast. But I will. When I Call Your Name, the Brothers Landreth, Mariel Buckley, from an album called Something New, Something Blue. Check it out. It's the best thing you've ever heard. Thank you for listening. Interviews down the road, Lake Street Dive, Noella Charles, Family Curse, and Early James. This is the Mulligan Stew Podcast. Please consider subscribing wherever you get the podcasts. Thank you. See you in September.